Alright, bruh. Alright, bruh. First and foremost, let me go ahead and explain where I've been. Where have I been? School. What have I been doing? Suffering. What I've been working on? Stuff that when I'm fully done with the things I'm talking about will be done, or whatever. I got stuff in the works. Why have you been school? Why haven't you texted school? What about your procrastination? All right, now that the what have you been doing? Drawing when I can. Have been drawing every day. No. What school? All right. Now that little Q&A is done and over with. Yeah. This is our friend. This is our new little friend. First and foremost, let me talk about substantial like. Let me go ahead and talk about him real quick. So I didn't get to talk to him like too long. I don't know if I did talk to him. I think I did, or talk to his friend. One thing I know for sure is that he is. Oh, wait a second. What is this? A drawing glove. Could that? What could this be for? Yeah, I totally. Yeah. We'll. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just leave it at that, y'all. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just. Yeah, I'm just like, you know, I wonder what this is. Yeah, we just go. We gonna move on. We gonna move on. You know. But anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I met him, I think, at like Otakon last year. And let me get this glove. Buy glove. Why your hands so ashy? Cause it's cold. I met him at Otakon, and he's really cool. He's really cool. He was one of the artists that Nujabes signed into his label like many years ago, and pretty much he like was able to put out like a good amount of music and stuff like that, and he's really tapped in with what's it called, with pretty much like the like, you know, cons, like conventions, like, you know, just anime and stuff like that. I'm gonna actually adjust this camera because I do not have a lot of desk space. Bear with me, because we have a little friend over here, as I've shown you. But oh my gosh, it feels so good to make a new episode again. Oh God, I recall saying, oh, you know, we're gonna come back to consistent episodes, and that was before the wrath of being an IT student who wants to be a creative as well. Fellas, let's talk about that. Actually, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, because oh my God. Because I kind of really wanted to talk about this with multiple people, and I've been talking about it with multiple people. This episode's gonna feel like therapy, y'all. I'm sorry in advance.
Brother, this guy
Oh my gosh, this camera is so wobbly. Also, this is my first episode recording with my new phone, so yeah. Bear with me. It's a little bigger than the last one, so we're gonna have to work what we got here. But substantial. He's a really cool dude, but typically what he does is that he has these little sketch events, these beat sketch events where he plays instrumentals while we draw, and he gives out these sketchbooks in every single like event he does. And I was able to use one of these, and I was able to fill out that sketchbook. And this is the one. And I think if my memory serves me correct, let me actually check something real quick. I finished this one since the last video, and I'm super sporadic with this series, mainly because this is the one time where I have a weekend off. I didn't even like call for this. I just didn't get. I just got the weekend off. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I still have some work to do, so this is gonna have a really quick turnaround time. This is gonna have to have a quick turnaround time, but it really is a lot of stuff I've been through. Oh my goodness. Because the thing is, I'm at the position where I'm like, okay, now I'm just like, it's really just a matter of just trying to be consistent as much as possible without losing my love for any of this. Because I showcase so much enthusiasm when it comes to creativity. I was in class a few days ago, and I was in class a few days ago, and we had the substitute professor to take over our current professor for a programming course, and I was like, hey guys, like my name's Sam, I'm a creative at heart. I love making music. I love drawing. I love animation. And she literally said, why are you here? And I was like, simple. Because I like computers and because I want to put food on the table. Or I said it in a much funnier way. I was like, because money. That's not actually the reason why I went for the IT major. To make a very long story short, let's just say somebody who's considered like a brother to me, in my family, like gave me the suggestion when I didn't have a lot of aim in my life. And now that I fully remember now, yeah, this one wasn't finished. So we're gonna go through this sketchbook, then we're gonna go through that sketchbook and kind of be at that. But gave me the advice like, hey, you should do IT because you'll learn a lot of stuff about computers. I've always seen you as a computer whiz growing up, and I want you to kind of experience the world of computers, but also have consistent work. Because if you're going to be going to school's going to cost money. We're not made out of money here, so I want you to at least be able to live comfortably so you don't have to struggle like I do sometimes. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, and he's a creative himself. He does like photography and stuff like that, so he made that his business, and I would see how much he would put his heart and soul into it. But he said he would also be burnt out, and he would kind of like lose love for doing it as like a passion truly. He mainly did it to help put food on the table as well as his job. And seeing that combination, it kind of made him feel like, oh, this feels like another job, not a passion. If I have a job that can help me financially, but also help me in terms of keep me learning, then it just is what it is. Oh my gosh, it's been 10 minutes. I haven't even opened these books yet. Good Lord. Do I upload this as is? We're gonna upload this as is. I don't care anymore. I'm tired. This is the one time I could make in Sam Sketch Stories. Oh God. Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, I may or may not have pulled up the last video because this bitch has been that long. Let's go ahead and go to the last page we were on in the previous episode, which was, from my understanding, it was like a little portrait of a dude. These pages were the last pages we were on. And let's just continue. Let's continue. How shall we? Let's continue. I don't know how this is gonna look, but this was to kind of give you an update. I would draw, the whole try to draw things from life, but then you wouldn't necessarily put enough time to draw the thing from life, so it would kind of look like a mixed match between something from life and a cartoon. I still kind of did that, but it's. Let me kind of sit down here so I can kind of give y'all a better idea, and I'll move the little new friend out the way. The interesting thing about drawing for me is it would kind of take different shifts. One moment I would try to draw things from life, but then I wouldn't put enough time to it. And I think I kind of tried to have the idea of having quick sketches and consistently doing that, which would lead into mixed results. And you could see clearly there would be moments where I would put some time into it, try to putting some shading in, and then there would be moments where I would just put some shading and then I would just put some shading, 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 and then I would just put some drawing things I see, taking notes, and there would be other days where I'm just kind of like, okay, let me just knock out like this drawing of this person that I see. I remember this. This was on a train. This was on a train, and I was trying to draw people on the train. And the worst thing about not knowing a lot about anatomy and other things like that, at least to a full extent, is that when you try to draw people, it just looks off and weird. So then you kind of move over to like, okay, what do you want to like put in for like the eyes or the mouth? Do you want to make it cartoony? Do you want to make it realistic? And it's kind of like a weird hybrid. Some people like it, other people don't. Am I proud of it? I don't know. Sometimes things work, sometimes things become random. I'm trying to recall what this was. I think this was like a pot or something, like a flower. There's flowers on here. Yeah, it's been a minute since I looked at the sketchbook because I've just been, oh God, I've just been so busy. Depending on the situation, I might cut a lot of this stuff out because 12, almost like 6 minutes of just no sketchbook before I actually get into the sketchbook. It's kind of crazy. And again, I'm not trying to like being quiet because I want to kind of, I'm looking through this again and I'm seeing things here. These were from months ago. Oh God, these were from months ago. I'm not gonna just, I'm okay, look, I'm not gonna crap on myself anymore. I'm not gonna crap on myself anymore. I was in an illustration class actually during the semester I did this, and oh God, oh my God, yeah, this was last fall. Oh my God, let's just talk about the fall semester. Off rip. Do you ever go through a semester that is so kind of wild that you, ooh, yeah, I went to pancakes and I think I went to like pancakes and booze. Fun fact, I don't drink, but there's an art show, Pancakes and Booze. I think some of y'all that are like tapped in like art shows and stuff like that have been there. But I saw this one person who had like this whole Game Boy thing and was like playing this Game Boy like booth or whatever. So I tried drawing them into a little cartoony person and like they liked it, so it was kind of cool. It's like one thing about kind of drawing people in like a weird little style is that like people just appreciate the fact that you're drawing them to begin with, but you know, and you're thinking to yourself like, oh my gosh, it looks so bad in my style. This one artist that I found on Pinterest. Yo, I hate Pinterest so much, bro. I hate Pinterest so much because like when I save references, I'm like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's like, oh, this art person's not being credited. Somebody else is sharing their artwork and they're not getting any of the credit they deserve. Anything like that. It just really sucks. And then you look at the alternatives that people suggest for Pinterest and it's like, oh, not to mention Pinterest has like a lot of, let's just say robotic shit in there. I'm not going to really get into that because I know that is a can of worms. But yeah, no, they got some robotic activity. Some bottles. I drew some people's bottles. Little character with like, huge legs and a weird looking body and a weird looking scarf. Weird looking shoes. I love drawing stuff like this. And then, you know, just some people I drew. Yeah. It's like you can tell, like it's like I gotta damn, I was going through it, bro. That's crazy. I was really going through it, bro. Oh hell nah. Oh hell nah, Jigsaw, what the fuck? And this Girl's character. I forgot her name. But yeah, I was going through it. Jesus Christ. Ooh. Oh, is this about school? Why am I like, damn, bro? Somebody put the aw sound like, oh. Like, oh, damn. Because this is my first time looking at the sketchbook in a few months, and oh, I was going through it. Need to capture likeness better. Yes, mini Sam. I need to capture likeness better. That is true. Now, one thing I've actually been working towards, again, I've been saying like, oh, I'm working on the fundamentals, da 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 da, blah blah blah, say, but it's like, hello, boo boo. One thing is that I have been working on the fundamentals, but I'm doing it in a separate sketchbook entirely, and at the time of this recording, I actually need to work on light and shadow, specifically like with darks and like understanding values. That's what I'm working on right now. Yeah. I think it's just this sketchbook is like, you can tell that like, you know, getting values in it. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, actually, I got a good story behind this one. Oh my God. Okay, so y'all know Sam.Avi? If y'all know who Sam.Avi is, oh my gosh, Sam.Avi, yes. Sam.Avi, he's a really good artist. I listen to him a lot. Well, I used to listen to him a bunch. Still listen to him from time to time, but yo, I went to one of his shows, right? In DC. Oh my gosh, I don't think Sam.Avi's gonna see this video at all. But hey, listen, I made a page of him performing live on stage. This was one of the pages, but I made one where I was drawing the stage, and I drew him performing while he was performing, and I gave him my whole. This is funny. I gave him my whole sketchbook. And my smart ass should have just taken the picture, because it was just it was one of those in the moment things like, oh my god, what do I do? I was so nervous, and I gave him my whole sketchbook, and he took my sketchbook, and he wanted to take the whole thing. I was like, wait, no. This was like so crazy, because usually if you give something to an artist, you're like, no, keep the whole thing. But this was my personal sketchbook, and this is so crazy. I told him, I said like, wait, no, that's my personal sketchbook. I wanted to give you one page. And I gave him one page of the sketchbook, which was the drawing of him in the stage. I don't know where it is. I should have taken a picture of it, but I could probably recreate the drawing if I really wanted to, because it wasn't really like too much. But this was a part of the section of drawings for that. So Sam.Avi has a page of my sketchbook, which I do find really cool. Somewhere. I hope he has it and it's not in the green room. So hopefully he still has it. But yeah, this was a picture of Sam.Avi and a bunch of other artists. And I realized, like, oh, like that's awesome. This was a homie that I also drew from the Sam.Avi show. I was actually like hanging out with them, and it was a really fun time. I love that show. It was also like one of the statues near that venue, but like I was just like I'm so tired, but I still sketched. I really should have dated these sketchbooks. And then this one was, some people on the metro. It's the one thing about drawing, like you have consistency, yes, but you're kind of always surrounded by I think this one person was really in a rush. He drew. It's very interesting looking back at the sketchbook, especially after a few months. Because usually you look at it after like a few days, a few weeks, but a few months is kind of. Ooh, procrastination is not good. Yo, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, this aged crazy. Anyways, Clancy. I love Midnight Gospel. I really wish there was a second season, but allegedly, like, With this was what scene was this from? Thinking of the words. What show was this? Round and a Half? Inuyasha? I forgot it. It's just like because the drawing over this one is, and the lighting is like you can't really see it that well. But I drew a screenshot from one of those shows. I think it's either from Round and a Half or something like that. But I'm not really going to go into too much detail on what this one is because I kind of want to do stuff with this, but maybe someday. Just some ideas, which we'll probably get into more in the next sketchbook. I think my biggest thing I learned, I kind of treated this sketchbook as kind of like okay, this was originally just going to be like for trips and stuff like that. When I visited Ghana last year, which y'all were like, oh my gosh, why didn't you release anything based off of that? Again, school, I don't know. I haven't released a lot of stuff. And I feel bad. I feel really bad. So I'm like trying to like, oh my gosh. Oh, my brain's all over the place. I haven't done a lot, and it's because of school. You could literally see right when school starts taking over. And I was like, oh my gosh, things are getting really crazy. Ooh, whoa, ooh. Ooh, we'll talk about that one day. Ooh, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. I know I said I'll talk about something, but, you know, these are just all ideas. But the few times I do get to implement colors in my drawings, I do like, you know, because I'm not like, I made myself a little goofy promise. I was like, oh, I gotta learn color theory before I implement more colors. Like, you just gotta do the whole thing. Some gesture practice. Some people playing games. Oh, look, it's this guy. See, it's like I know who this person is, but it's like I want to do stuff, but it's like I can't. So, okay, let's just cut to the chase. Last semester was not necessarily the best semester for me. I was taking Python classes. I was taking illustration class. It was a lot of stuff, and it didn't necessarily go the way I wanted it to go. It was just kind of put it there. And I feel it was the first real time in college where I just felt dumb. And I felt really stupid that semester. And I felt bad. And I was like, you know, I was doing the art class, the illustration class, and I felt so behind. I felt like I wasn't capable, or that I was just, you know, I had to, you know, twist a few knobs to get into that course because the prerequisites for that course, it was a lot. And I'm doing animation as a minor in my school, but because there isn't a full animation program in there. But I mean, now I kind of understood why all those prerequisites were required. But even then, I think for the past few years, for the art classes I would take, you know, the teachers would be like, oh yeah, like this is fine, this is good, like you got something going for yourself, you just gotta be consistent. Like they would just be honest and kind and be cool with the fact that I'm not like at the high level, because I'm kind of in a weird position where like I'm like not at high level, and I'm not a beginner, but I'm not a novice, but I'm not like, I'm in a weird spot where it's like, okay, I've drawn before, but I'm not good, but I'm not bad, but I'm not great, but it's a weird. The best way to kind of describe where I am is that my fundamental skills are not super present at the moment, but I can draw stuff. But it will just take me a long time, and there's going to be flaws within those drawings, but I can draw stuff. But there are clear areas that I have seen, that I can see and I can point out now. Knowing about what I need to do to improve, I look back at these drawings and I'm like, oh God. Not because I'm like, oh, I hate these, but it's like, okay, and now I know what I kind of messed up on, but how do I fix it is the thing. And that's kind of where I am. Being in that illustration class really reinforced, or really, like, do you ever have that moment where you think like you have some swag, but then it kind of all goes away, it slowly fades off and doesn't really come back, and it kind of hurts? That's what happened. And I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I'm sad because I got critiqued on my work. It's just, I really felt, I thought, oh, I'm not good at programming. I'm not that good at math. And now I'm like, okay, now I'm not good at drawing, but I just had that thing that just confirmed, I just had that moment where it just kind of confirmed my suspicions. So for a little while, I just felt like, okay, I'm not good at my major, and I'm not good at the thing I want to be good at. So what do I do? And I'm still kind of in that phase where I'm like, okay, I want to get good at these things because I feel like I have no choice. Because without those, like, you know, I think to myself, who am I? You know, and this might be the most like therapy ass episode I've ever put out. This might be the most therapy ass video I've put out on YouTube. Because it's been so long. It's been 2 months, boy. Shut your ugly ass. I know it's been like 2-3 months, but still, like in YouTube times, that's like 5 years. And yeah, I'm letting. Yeah. So I wasn't sad that I was getting critiqued. I wasn't sad that like I clearly had a long way to go. It's just the realization that where I want to be will take a long time to get to. And you got to enjoy the journey. But that's the hardest part. Because when you pick up a pencil, you really want to be able to output things that you want to output. When you write down a line of code, you want something like, you want a user interface that looks beautiful. You want an application to be running. And then there's just a moment that hits you where it's like you're nowhere near that level yet. When I was in high school, I took this one class. I doubt the person that I'm talking about is watching the video, but if you are, hi. Feel free to talk to me. I want to have a conversation with you. It's been a while, but let's just say we were doing Autodesk stuff. And keep in mind, I never used Autodesk or whatever at that moment in time. But a lot of other people did, and I just didn't know how to use it. And I tried asking a friend of mine, hey, could you mind helping me? And I frustrated him to the point where like he slammed his hand on the desk and he said, I'm done. And I hope that that moment changed how I approached things like that and learning. For years. Because I thought I was unlearnable. I thought I was unteachable. I thought I couldn't learn. And if you're watching this, person who slammed his hand on the desk, again, you didn't do nothing wrong. You were frustrated with me, and I'm sorry for, for making you mad. I wanted to learn. I didn't know what questions to ask. And I still struggle to ask questions, even during that semester where I drew this event piece. My professor failed me by like 4% in that Python class. I really almost dropped out of school. I actually thought about dropping out of school, or at least taking a break, and oh man, oh no, oh my god, I'm actually kind of tearing up a little bit. Oh, if I actually have the guts to upload this. If I actually have the guts to upload this video, then I do not know what else to say. Oh my god, I'm actually tearing up because, like, it's hard it's hard to tell yourself that, like, you're capable of things. Or it's hard to tell yourself that you can do something and that you can be consistent. And it's hard to look at what you do and see that it's not the way you want it to be, and you just keep going and going and going and going. And this is like, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on, shall we? Because let's move on. Character, somebody's lunch, I think. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, this was somebody's lunch. We're just gonna go through it. A little fun. Oh my god, I love drawing these little creatures. They're really awesome. Cool peoples. I don't know if I'm gonna cut that part out. I'm literally debating in my head, like, yo, should I cut this part out? Should I cut that whole part? That whole, like, emotional. Should I cut that part out? Maybe. Oh, you know what? Inktober. I wanted to post these, but I never really did. I tried Inktober and I didn't go through it because I was just so busy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm proud of the fact that I even started. I tried making a whole narrative. Wow. I did this. I made a whole story. It's so crazy how, like, wow, it's so crazy how, oh shoot. Oh, let me go back. Whoa. It's like, whoa, now. It's so crazy. Oh, there's a car and stuff like that. Man, all you need is motivation. Not even motivation. All you need is, like, oh my gosh. If you know, you know. He's still gonna fuck the wall. What the hell? Oh my gosh. Inktober and just nonsense, and I just love. This is what I want to do, okay? This is what I want to do in life, okay? I'm not saying IT is bad or anything like that. I love computers, don't get it twisted, but if nothing else, get your shit together. This aged like fucking fine wine. Get your shit together, volume life edition. Thinking. Oh my gosh, I said fix it. Damn, you could tell when I was going through it. Oh my god. More Metros drawings and yup, you can tell. You could tell when I was starting to happen. And the end. So, oh, and that's just sketchbook number. You know what? We're just. Okay. I'm just really trying to put myself together here. This should have been a 10-minute video or something like that, but honestly speaking, I just needed to let that out. Will this go to the general public? We'll see how I feel. This is like, oh, this is so hard because like I didn't post anything or make any announcement, talk about nothing, and then the next thing I come out with is just, oh my gosh, look at Sam showing his sketchbook that he made a few months ago and having a yapping fest and fit. But honestly speaking, I've been through a lot. School. And I might title this something different. I might just be like, guy tries to make a sketchbook video but then has a midlife crisis and realization near the middle of it. That might be the name of it. Algorithm, do your thing or something, because honestly, no, I don't know what to think. Oh, it's okay. We'll take care of this later. But just know, I think this is the 7th sketchbook that I finished. We'll talk about this another day. Because honestly speaking, I think me looking at the sketchbook kind of changed that trajectory of the episode in real time. But I will say this. To anyone who feels like they know what they want to do with their lives, and yet they feel like they're not enough, they're not doing enough, they're not doing the right things, they're not taking the right steps, they're not doing what is needed to get to where they need to go. Like, if you've ever talked to a friend, asked them for help, and then they think you're unteachable or unlearnable, or they get frustrated at you, or you become like, you think you just don't know anything. Like, not learning how to unlearn, how to tell yourself, like learning to unlearn and trying to stop yourself from like saying bad things about yourself is a hard thing to do. That's something I'm trying to learn every day, and I've been getting better at it a little bit. Not saying I'm not going through like hell or nothing. It's just more of like, it's like, if if I upload this, I'm really it's a big risk if I upload it, because like I'm really showing a vulnerable side of me that I didn't even realize I had within myself. Not that I didn't realize, but more of like I didn't expect to kind of. I get scared. But yeah, to kind of put it into a really succinct manner, I had a really rough semester. The only reason why I was able to record this is because I just finished an accounting test, and I don't know if I passed or failed it. I'm tired, I'm scared, but I'm optimistic. I'm trying not to be scared. A lot of people around me say that what I'm working towards is going to be worth it. The things I got going on is going to be worth it. I personally think it's going to be worth it, but it's so much work. And if you are out there and you do something that you love, and you want to do something that you love, but you feel like you suck at it, or you feel like you're not good at it, or you feel like you just don't want to, you're scared to put stuff out into the world because you just feel like you are nothing, homie, you're something for real. You're something. Thank goodness that we're kind of in an era where, or in a time where, like, people can feel validated in terms of, like, you know, what they go through, what they feel in terms of their creativity or their goals or passions or aspirations. But that wasn't always the case, and sometimes it can kind of eat away at you and without you knowing it, and you just really have to just go at it. And even if you get judged, even if you get cooked, even if people are like, oh, I mean, that's cool, I guess, yeah, and then, like, nothing happens, and even if you get rejected, even if you get told, like, oh, this is just nothing, or oh, maybe this is not for you, like, just, I don't know, continue. If it brings you genuine pain, even without others around, and you tried everything you can, then maybe, yeah, find something else to do. But, you know, there's gonna be good in here. There's gonna be good in here. And for those in college, for those people who are smart, lend me some of your brain cells, will ya? Please. I can't take this anymore. Okay. This is not even Sam's sketch stories. This is Sam's therapy, damn it. Let's hope that the semester goes well. Bye.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!